Now let's look at some important properties of addition, multiplication, subtraction and division of whole numbers. So we'll take each of those operations in turn and understand their important properties. So this is our set of whole numbers. We said that we can put together all the whole numbers from 0 till infinity, as large as we can possibly imagine, and we can put them in a set. We can group them together. Right? So this bucket is our bucket of whole numbers. All the whole numbers are there in this bucket. Not only numbers till 9, but all possible numbers are there in this bucket. One of the important properties of the bucket of whole numbers is that if I take any two numbers from this bucket and I add them together, so let's say that I took two numbers 2 and 6 and I added them together, the answer would be 8. This answer would 100% fall in this bucket itself, right? So just to do addition, if I take any two whole numbers, my answer would also be a whole number, and this property is known as closure property. So this is closure property of addition over whole numbers. So over all of these whole numbers, if I do addition, the answer would also be a whole number. But what about multiplication? For multiplication, it is the same argument. I again take the bucket of whole numbers. I take any two numbers from this bucket. Let's say that I chose, so this is my bucket of whole numbers. I again chose 4 and 2, those are whole numbers. The answer that I get is 8. This 8 necessarily would fall in the bucket of whole numbers. So again, multiplication is also closed with respect to whole numbers. So if you think about it, let's summon our number line, and our number line comes, and now we can understand why this is the case. If you notice the multiplication, let's say that I was doing 2 into 3. Let's take a slightly different example. It means that I will make 3 jumps of 2 each, starting from 0. So I am making the first jump, second jump and third jump. Necessarily, these jumps all fall on whole numbers. They cannot go back, and of course they cannot fall in between the two whole numbers. So again, multiplication, just because of the nature of the multiplication on the number line, it would always yield whole numbers. Two whole numbers, when I multiply together, they would always yield whole numbers. Whole numbers can be very large, of course, right? But that does not matter. As long as they fall, right, this line extends till infinity. It goes on and on and on. As long as my answer falls on one of these nice places where there are whole numbers, the multiplication would be closed, and of course it is. So here is the summary of the closure property of multiplication and addition over whole numbers. Very important. You can expect questions on this. Now with that, let's see what happens in case of subtraction. Is subtraction closed over whole numbers? Let's see what happens. What is the subtraction operation? We know that if I take two numbers, let's say that I took two numbers 6 and 2, then 6 minus 2, the way I would do is that I will start with 6 and make 2 jumps backward. My answer would be 4. And that looks like it is a whole number, right? This 4 is a whole number. We have neither fallen off the number line, nor we have landed up in one of these places between two whole numbers. So this 4 is a nice whole number. So you might think that subtraction is actually closed. Well, it is not. Let's just reverse our 6 and 2, right? So this is the operator minus, and we have two operands, 6 and 2. The numbers on which this operation is happening are known as operands. So we have two operands, 6 and 2, and I have a operator minus. So let's reverse the order of this operands. So what happens if instead of doing 6 minus 2, I do 2 minus 6? So now I start from 2 and I go backwards 6 times. 1, 2, and now we have ended up on 0. Now if I go any more backward, I am actually falling off the number line of whole numbers. So my answer in this case does not happen to be a whole number. For those of you who have studied ahead, the answer in this case happens to be minus 4, which is not a whole number. It is something known as integer. It is an integer. It is a negative integer, and it is a number below 0. It is a number below the whole numbers. It is a number which does not lie in the whole numbers. So just by taking two whole numbers and doing the operation of subtraction, I produced an answer which is not a whole number, and therefore subtraction is not closed over whole numbers. Now, before we understand whether division is actually closed with respect to whole numbers, let's understand what division is. I mean, division you already know, right? So one way to look at division, for example, if I have 6 things and I want to divide them into 3 equal parts, the way I would do is that I would group them into 3 groups, and I would say that 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2. So that is one way of looking at it, right? Because each of these part has 2 items, two objects. Therefore, my 6 divided by 3, right? So when I divide it into 3 groups, the answer is 2. That is the quotient. Another way to look at division is actually as a repeated subtraction. So division means that I am doing subtraction as long as my number, my final number which is left after doing these subtractions is less than the divisor. Okay, so here I have a number 12, and I am dividing it by 3. So we know that the answer is 4. So let's see how we can arrive at this answer just by doing repeated subtraction. So the first time, what I do is that this is the dividend and this is the divisor. So at the bottom we have the divisor, at the top we have the dividend. Another way to write this division is 12 divided by 3. Okay, so let's start by subtracting the divisor by this dividend. So we do that, we subtract 3 from 12 and we get 9. So that is the number which we are left with. Sorry. So this becomes 12 minus 3 is equal to 9. Now we take this 9 and again do the subtraction. So we are doing repeated subtraction. This comes out to be 6. Now I take this 6 and again do the subtraction. This comes out to be 3. I again do the subtraction. So this becomes 3 minus 3 equal to 0. At this point we stop because our remainder, this number 0, is actually less than less than 3 itself, is less than the divisor. At that point we actually stop. So if you notice, we have done the repeated subtraction and the number of times we had to do the subtraction. So we did subtraction. How many times did we do the subtraction? Let's count that. So we did the subtraction 1 time, 2 times, 3 times and 4 times, and that is my quotient. So number of times I did the subtraction is my quotient. The final number that I get after the last subtraction is my remainder. So that is the division as repeated subtraction. And why are we studying this? Because now we'll look at whether division is actually closed over whole numbers. So there are 2 reasons why division is not closed over whole numbers. The first reason is actually very simple. Let's take 2 whole numbers. In our case, let's take 2 whole numbers 1 and 2, and let's do 1 divided by 2. What happens? Answer in this case is half. If you notice, half is not a whole number. It is not 0, it is not 1. It is between 2 whole numbers 0 and 1. So right off the bat, we were able to do a division, right? In the beginning, right? Very simply, we were able to come up with a division of 2 whole numbers, which does not result in a whole number. So this is not a whole number. So we can, just by showing this, we have said that the division is not closed over whole numbers. Another reason is that let's take 2 whole numbers, 2 and 0. Okay, so now I am deliberately choosing 0. So I do 2 divided by 0. If you notice, earlier we said that the division is nothing but repeated subtraction. So let's try to find out the quotient in this case. So what we'll do is that we'll do 2 minus 0. The answer would come out to be 2. Again we do 2 minus 0. The answer would come out to be 2. Since we are not able to reduce this number 2, our dividend 2, by dividing or by subtracting our divisor 0, we are not able to reduce this number. Every time I do the subtraction, I end up with the dividend itself. Therefore, because this number is not decreasing, this division would never end. So division by 0 never ends. In other words, it is not defined at all. it is not infinity, it is not very difficult to do, it is not defined at all. The most powerful computer in the world would not be able to do 2 divided by 0, 3 divided by 0, division by 0, any number divided by 0. It is not defined at all. Okay, so that is one thing that you have to remember. Any number n divided by 0 is not defined at all. So this thing is not even defined. Okay, we cannot write it as infinity, we cannot write it as 0, we cannot write it as any other number. It is just not defined. See, another way to think about why division by 0 is not defined is to again look at how we would group the numbers. Let's say that I have 4 things with me and I want to divide them into 2 groups. Okay, so I'll start by one thing. I'll put 1 here and I'll put the 1 here. So these things I will start removing from this end, and I'll start putting them in these buckets, if you will. So I put 1 here, I put 1 here, and then I took these 2, I put 1 here and I put 1 here. So the number of items in each of these buckets after I did my division is 2, so that would be my quotient. What happens if I have only one bucket? So I again have 4 things, but I only have one bucket. You'll say, sir, very simple, I'll just put everything in this bucket. So I'll move all of these items to this bucket, and that would be my answer, right? So in the bucket, I would have 4 items, and that would be my quotient. So my quotient would be 4, which is correct only, right? Because 4 divided by 1, which is our number of buckets, is equal to 4 itself. Previously, we had 2 buckets. So 4 divided by 2 was 2. That was the number of items in each bucket. What happens if we have 0 buckets? I again have 4 items, but I don't really have a bucket. I don't have a single bucket. You'd say that in this case, we cannot do division at all. It is impossible, right? Because there are no buckets. So where do I put the items, right? So again, with the same result, we get the same result by this method also, saying that 4 divided by 0 or any number divided by 0 is actually not defined, right? We cannot compute this at all. So because of these 2 reasons, the division is not closed with respect to whole numbers. Right? So for division, I can actually, division by 0 is not even defined. So if I divide any number by 0, what I get is not a whole number. It is not even defined. So this is not even defined. And of course, with division, I can also end up between 2 whole numbers. So because of these 2 reasons, division is not closed with respect to whole numbers. Thank you.